Good morning and welcome you all to this session of solving problem on steam nozzle. Problem 12. A steam nozzle is supplied steam at 15 bar 350 degrees centigrade and discharges steam at 1 bar. If the diverging portion of the nozzle is 80 millimeter long and the throat diameter is 6 millimeter, determine the cone angle of the diverging portion. Assume 12% of the total available enthalpy drop is lost in friction in the diverging portion. Also, determine the velocity and temperature of the steam at the throat. See, here we are considering a convergent divergent nozzle. One is the inlet of convergent nozzle, T is the throat of convergent divergent nozzle, and 2 is the exit of the nozzle. Area of the nozzle decreases from inlet to throat, and again it increases from throat to exit. The portion between 1 and T is known as converging portion, and the portion between T to 2 is known as diverging portion. Now we are going to write the given data. A steam nozzle is supplied steam at 15 bar and 350 degrees centigrade. So initial pressure P1 equal to 15 bar and temperature T1 equal to 350 degrees centigrade, and discharges steam at 1 bar. So pressure P2 equal to 1 bar. If the diverging portion of the nozzle is 80 millimeter long, so the distance between T and 2 is 80 millimeter. The throat diameter is 6 millimeter. The diameter at this portion dt equal to 6 millimeter. Determine the cone angle of the diverging portion. So we have to find out the diverging part angle of the diverging part. Assume 12% of the total available enthalpy drop is lost in friction in the diverging portion. So in the diverging part only the loss is there, that loss is 12%. So the efficiency of the nozzle at the diverging part is taken as 88%. Also determine the velocity and temperature of the steam at throat. So here first we have to find out the cone angle of the diverging portion alpha. Then we have to find out temperature of the steam at throat, and also we have to find out the velocity of steam at the throat Ct. See, here we can see the diverging part of the nozzle. This portion is the exit of the nozzle and this portion is the throat of the nozzle. Now we are taking the diameter at the exit of the nozzle as d2 and diameter at throat section is taken as dt. For calculating the cone angle, we have to draw an axis line of this diverging portion. Then we have to extend the outer surfaces of the nozzle. So both lines should meet at this point. So here we can take the angle between the surfaces. That angle is known as cone angle alpha. If we are taking the angle between the axis and any one of the surface, then that angle is known as semi-cone angle theta. Now we have to write the formula required for solving this problem. We have to find out the cone angle alpha, which is equal to 2 theta, where theta is the semicone angle. So theta can be calculated by using this equation, tan inverse d2 minus dt divided by 2ld. Here d2 is the exit diameter of the nozzle and dt is the diameter of throat section, and ld is the length of the diverging part. The length of the diverging part is given in the problem. We have to find out the diameter d2 and dt, then we can find out theta. For calculating the diameter d2, we can use this equation: cross-sectional area of the nozzle exit A2 equal to pi by 4 into d2 square. For calculating the diameter of throat, we have to use this equation: cross-sectional area of throat AT equal to pi by 4 into dt square. So here we don't know the values of A2 and AT. So for this we have to use mass flow rate equation. For calculating the area, we have to use mass flow rate equation: m dot equal to AT CT by VT equal to A2 C2 divided by V2. Here CT is the velocity of steam at throat section, VT is the specific volume of steam at throat section. The CT can be calculated by using this equation: square root of 2000 into H1 minus HT, and VT is the specific volume, which is calculated from the Mollier diagram. Then C2 is the velocity of steam at the exit of the nozzle, which is calculated by using this equation: square root of 2000 into H1 minus HT plus HT minus H2 into eta d. So here H1 minus HT is the enthalpy drop in the converging part. Here there is no loss due to friction. HT minus H2 is the enthalpy drop at the diverging part. So here the loss is given in the problem. So we can multiply the diverging part enthalpy drop with efficiency of the nozzle at the divergent part. Then V2 is the specific volume of steam at the exit of the nozzle, so which is calculated, which is determined from the Mollier diagram. Now we can solve this problem using Mollier chart. See, this is the Mollier diagram. We know this is the graphical representation of steam table. The x-axis represents specific entropy values, y-axis represents specific enthalpy values. So we know this diagram is divided into two partitions by a saturation line. The region above the saturation line is superheated region, and the region below the saturation line is known as wet region. So in our problem, they have given the pressure at the inlet is 15 bar and temperature T1 equal to 350 degrees centigrade. So first we have to find out the quality of steam at the inlet of the nozzle. So for finding the quality, we have to draw a line on the 15 bar pressure line and draw a temperature line of 350 degrees centigrade. So both the lines are intersecting at this point. So this point is above the saturation line. So the steam is in superheated condition. Now we have to find out the throat pressure. For calculating the throat pressure, we have to know the critical pressure ratio. The equation for critical pressure ratio, Pt by P1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 the whole power n by n minus 1. We know if the steam is superheated, then the value of n equal to 1.3. Now substituting the value of n equal to 1.3 in this equation, we get critical pressure ratio Pt by P1 equal to 0.546. For our convenience, we are cross multiplying this P1. So Pt equal to 0.546 P1. We know in our problem they have given the inlet pressure P1 equal to 15 bar. Now substitute the value of P1 in this equation. So we get pressure Pt, throat pressure, equal to 8.2 bar. Now we have to locate the point 1 on the molar diagram again for finding the values of specific enthalpy and specific volume. So here pressure P1 equal to 15 bar. So dark the 15 bar line and temperature 350 degrees centigrade. So dark the 350 degrees centigrade line. Both the lines are meeting at this point. So that point is marked as 1. So from point 1, you have to measure the corresponding specific enthalpy value H1 equal to 3140 kilojoule per kilogram. Then we have to measure the corresponding specific volume. So the specific volume lines are the dotted lines. So here we can see this line is passing through the point 1. So this line have a value of 0.2 meter cube per kilogram. Therefore, specific volume V1 equal to 0.2 meter cube per kilogram. Now, we know the process takes place in the nozzle is isentropic. Therefore, we have to draw a constant entropy line from point 1, or we have to draw a vertical line downwards from point 1. Now we know the pressure P2 equal to 1 bar, which is given in the problem. So dark the 1 bar pressure line. 1 bar pressure line and the vertical line are meeting at this point. So mark the point as 2. Now at point 2, I have to measure the corresponding specific enthalpy value from y-axis. So H2 equal to 2580 kilojoule per kilogram. So we have to measure the corresponding specific volume value also. That point 2 lies between 1.0 and 2.0. So approximately that value is 1.6 meter cube per kilogram. Already we have find out the value of Pt equal to 8.2 bar. Now dark the 8.2 bar line, which is intersecting on the vertical line drawn from point 1. Mark that intersecting point as T. Now measure the corresponding specific enthalpy values of point T, which is 2990 kilojoule per kilogram. So then we have to measure the corresponding specific volume value Vt equal to 0.3 meter cube per kilogram. Now we have to measure the temperature. So superheated temperature. So that temperature is in between 250 and 300 degrees centigrade. So here to draw a line and take the value approximately, which is 270 degrees centigrade. Now we have to find out the velocity of steam at throat, Ct. Ct equal to square root of 2000 into H1 minus Ht. H1 and Ht values we have obtained from the molar diagram. Now substituting these values in this equation, we get the velocity of steam at throat Ct equal to 547.72 meters per second. So velocity of steam at throat equal to 547.72 meters per second. Now we have to find out the cross-sectional area of throat AT. AT equal to pi by 4 into dt square. So diameter of the throat is given in the problem, which is 6 millimeter or 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Now substitute this value in this equation. So area of throat equal to 2.827 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter square. Next we have to find out the mass flow rate of steam m dot. M dot equal to AT Ct divided by Vt. So AT Ct values we have calculated. Vt is the specific volume which is taken from the molar diagram. Now substitute these three values in this equation. We get the mass flow rate equal to 0.0516 kilogram per second. Now we have to find out the velocity of steam at the exit of the nozzle C2 equal to square root of 2000 into H1 minus Ht plus Ht minus H2 into eta d. So H1, Ht and H2 values were obtained from the molar diagram, and nozzle efficiency at the diverging part is given in our problem, that is 0.88. Now substitute these four values in this velocity equation. So we get velocity of steam at the nozzle exit C2 equal to 1010.74 meters per second. Next, again we have to use the mass flow rate equation for calculating the area at the exit of the nozzle. Mass flow rate already we have calculated using the equation AT Ct by Vt, which is 0.0516 kilogram per second. C2 equal to 1010.74 meters per second, and specific volume V2 we have taken from the molar diagram is 1.6 meter cube per kilogram. Now substituting these values in the mass flow rate equation, so we get the exit area A2 equal to 8.168 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter square. So cross-sectional area of the nozzle exit A2 equal to pi by 4 into d2 square. Now substituting the value of A2 in this equation, we get the diameter at the exit of the nozzle d2 equal to 10.19 into 10 to the power minus 3 meters. Now we have to calculate the semicone angle theta. Semicone angle theta equal to tan inverse of d2 minus dt divided by 2ld. So d2 value already we have calculated, dt value is given in our problem, and ld also given in our problem. Now substituting these three values in the semicone angle equation, we get theta equal to 1.5 degree. Now we have to find out the cone angle alpha. Cone angle alpha equal to 2 theta. Substitute the value of theta in cone angle equation. So we get cone angle alpha equal to 3 degrees. Thank you.